Looking into the current landscape, right? We've been hearing a lot of stories, like a lot of real estate, like home buyers are having issues with developers, right? A lot of people are not getting their homes as at when promised. Some people are not even getting homes at all. Like literally, it's almost like a real estate investment has now become the latest Ponzi scheme, right? And a lot of people are experiencing fears in their hearts, not knowing who to trust, in terms of real estate developers, And so, what do you have to say about this, and what are some ways that you would advise home buyers to actually think about investing in a home?
I mean, obviously, I won't be able to address all of the concerns, but let me see one or two things I can say based on my experience. Number one, I think it's important that because before you invest in any development or developer, you need to know the structure of management. What's the management structure? It's very important because I don't mean to be controversial, but when personally, if you're a one-man business, I'm first alerted until I'm proven otherwise. But when I know the structure within the company and I observe the way the management, at that level, they live their lives, it can give me an idea of how to navigate that investment. And then sometimes people take the risk, which is a very, very unbelievable risk of not bringing their lawyer on board on transactions. It's very important. Review the terms of agreements that you're having with developers. Look at it very properly and then have your lawyer review it as well. That's very important. There's something we Nigerians don't like to do, and that is insurance. Insurance. There's insurance in real estate, and you need to know how to, I can count 1,000 cars in the city of Abuja, and I'll tell you that 90 or 80% of those cars are not insured, including mine.
Really?
So yes, I'm a culprit. Okay, I know you're not, but I'm a culprit.
No, I am. Do you mean beyond the basic insurance that?
No, so
I
the
think
basic insurance is compulsory,
Yes,
right?
the
I'm talking
compulsory.
about comprehensive. If you want to get value for, insurance value, you have to go comprehensive.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about and I mean, even for the basic insurance, the local taxi man doesn't even know he has insurance. So that's why you have accidents and people are shouting, they don't know if they can refer to insurance. So it's important people are understand that you need to insure your house, and then you also need to, speak to the banks. Speak to the banks to get some form of, guarantee in that regard. So I think these are things that people need to take into consideration before, putting their money into investments like that. And track record, most importantly, track record. But it's just that the thing with track record sometimes blindfolds us from making investment, and then we discover that this person has a track record. How come they make this mistake? That's why you go back to their structure. As their structure changed, what is the legal requirement, insurance, and all of those things. It's paramount, yeah.
But I think also we've seen some people that have met these requirements that are still having some issues.
Yeah. So for me, what I'll say here is, I don't know if this song comes right. Money slow to enter, money quick to go. That's the song, right? So it should be more of money comes however it comes, but money must be very slow to go out. You notice that sometimes your instincts, for people that just feel everything, for me, spiritually, I'll say my spirit or the Holy Spirit will tell me, take slow in your investment. I mean, myself and my partners at Realfort, we have tried to invest in some deals, and then we delayed for a bit, and then we discovered all of the things that were hidden in that transaction. So you should never be in a hurry. Sometimes you have people, this money is in my account, what do I do with it? So I think it's important you take time before you disburse investments. That's another strategy to adopt in whatever it is you're doing. To be honest, if I have any friend, cousin, brother, or investor, everybody in Nigerian and diaspora, I would go on my knees and beg them that this is the best time for them to invest in Nigeria because of the exchange rate, fluctuation and advantage. The reason is, and they must understand, because there's a way to go about this. If you're looking at investing in Nigeria and then you cash it back into dollars or pounds, for instance, there's a likelihood that you lose because of the transactional cost in exchange. And now, from the perspective of investing, I think the exchange rate advantage, this is the best time to actually invest in Nigeria. However, you must have the mindset that this investment must be domiciled in Nigeria. So you can use it to fund your lifestyle when you're around. A typical, no, I don't want to controversial. There's a typical man or Nigerian man has bills to pay, right? You don't want to, you can domicile your investment in Nigeria, use it to fund and assist your parents, assist your brothers. If for any reason, which is very, very rare, your spouse is here, you can use that investment to fund their lifestyle. But if you want to assume that you can invest and then liquidate and send back in dollars, you're likely to lose.
Okay, I mean, let me now drive the conversation towards an age-old, let's say an age-old. I'll say a recent argument that has been flying around, and I really like your perspective to it in terms of renting or buying. So, I mean, I once heard, I've heard different school of thoughts, right? I've heard different school of thoughts. I've heard school of thoughts that say that if you're a young person, don't buy, rent. And then there are some people that said, oh, that's an incomplete advice. So what they said was, don't buy. Don't buy to live, but buy and rent out if you can afford it. Then there's another school of thought that says you don't need to bother about owning real estate. If you check the value of rent you pay every year, it's going to take you almost 20 years to be able to really spend that money using buying a single unit. So don't buy at all. Just focus on living your life. Be flexible so that you can be mobile and travel the world. So I've heard a lot of different perspectives, right? So what's your take on this question?
Honestly, this is very interesting, and that's why I laughed hard, because it's a long conversation if you give me time. So I have my perspective, and I think I was listening to Grant Cardone recently, and he said, if you're not wealthy enough, don't buy, rent. But there are contradictions. One of my mentors said, you should rent rather than buy. He's a billionaire. So that, I understand that he's talking from a place of experience. But what I think is there are factors. If you have a business that if you invest in can scale and you have projections of how much of return it can give you, then I would say don't buy.
Use the money to start that
Use the
business.
money. Not even, okay, it could be start a business or scale the already existing business. I'd rather say for this person scaling, rather for the person starting. Starting, there are risk components. You don't know what to expect. You're still trying to discover. You're at the discovery stage. Starting can be risky. So the risk is higher, But renting in the context of having an existing business, and okay, let's put figures. You have 40 million. If you put 40 million to your business, it's going to give you 80 million. Would you rather put that 40 million in buying a home or put that 40 million in scaling your business? Now, let me speak for myself. I am on the corner of buy, and I'm going to share a practical experience.
All right.
2 years ago, let me not put it this way. 2 years ago, there are two friends. One has 40 million. 40 million is going to scale his business to 80. The other one has 40 million to buy a 3-bedroom apartment and a BQ. And he goes and he buys a 3-bedroom apartment and a BQ. And now the 3-bedroom apartment and a BQ today is 120 million. And then the business, he invested in the business 80 million. So now both of them have succeeded, right? But now what is the definition of success in this context is determined by the goal set by the individual. What do I define to be success? That's what determines which direction I'll take. So for me, I think buying a home is a good idea because while some people will say invest it, the home is still appreciating in value.
It's still an investment.
Whether or not I live in it or I rent it, the value still increases. So, but what you must have in mind, like me, be ready to deal. Because the home you're buying serves as equity. Equity to take loans, equity to even do investment. Like, for instance, I'm that guy, I don't know if this is okay. I'm that guy who went for the 3-bedroom. But I'm that guy who is flexible enough to liquidate that 3-bedroom when I see an opportunity that is guaranteed of return. So I when I think and I sleep on my bed in my house, I feel the sense of having capacity in equity. So I've not really made a wrong decision by buying a home 2 years ago.
So basically, what you're saying is that the home is still an asset that you can.
It's still an asset. And it increases in value on a daily basis. So there's no win-win. I think it's both correct, but personally, I'll buy a home.
So basically, you just feel like it's based on the context.
It's based on the context,
and the person's
your definition of success, your goals in regards to your financial goals, in regards to investment. I think it's a very interesting.
So I mean, moving forward a bit, still a bit in this line, what should a first-time home buyer be looking out for right now in the market?
Location. Location. If you get a location wrong as a first-time home buyer, it can discourage you from getting a second home. But if you've gotten a first home and you understand how the industry works, then you can play around other factors.
But how do I know the right locations to invest in?
There are many factors. There's demand. There's demand. There is infrastructure, the movement of infrastructure. Where is the government going part-time? I mean, there was a news recently. I'm not sure specifically. Maitama 2, if you know that area.
Yes, I'm familiar.
I know that there's an approved couple of billions of naira going that direction. That's a location to look at. That's a location to look at.
Any other location that you want to look at?
I mean, it will look as though I'm talking about myself, but obviously, Idusabo, that is a location that I personally fell in love with. I fell in love with Idusabo because I saw the direction of infrastructure that the government was ready to invest in that area.